You walk into a room and something in you quietly shifts. Your voice changes, your body adjusts. Your thoughts reorganize themselves around the people in front of you. Later, when you're alone, you replay the moment in your mind and ask yourself, was that really me? You don't feel dishonest. You don't feel manipulative. You just feel fake. And the strange part is, you can't remember when this started. It shows up in small ways. You laugh a little louder than you feel. You agree even when something inside you disagrees. You soften your opinions. You hide your edges. After conversations, you feel tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. You replay what you said, what you didn't say, and what you wish you had said. Slowly, a gap forms inside you. There's the version of you people see, and the version of you that only exists when you're alone. That gap begins to affect how you see yourself. Your identity feels blurry. Your choices feel influenced by others. Your relationships feel slightly empty, even when they look fine from the outside. Over time, you stop asking what you actually want. You start asking what fits, what keeps things smooth, what avoids awkwardness. Your self-talk changes. You become hyper-aware of how you're coming across. You start managing impressions instead of expressing truth. This isn't just shyness. It's not just overthinking. It's a deeper psychological pattern where your nervous system stays on high alert around people. You're constantly scanning for signs of rejection, judgment, or disapproval. And when your brain lives in that mode long enough, authenticity starts to feel dangerous. But here's something important. You are not broken. You didn't become this way randomly. This is not a character flaw. It's an adaptation. At some point in your life, being fully yourself didn't feel safe. Maybe you were criticized. Maybe you were ignored. Maybe you learned that being agreeable brought approval. So your nervous system did exactly what it's designed to do. It learned how to protect you socially. It's learned how to help you belong. Not by being real, but by being acceptable. The human brain treats social rejection like physical danger. From an evolutionary perspective, being excluded once meant survival was at risk. So your system learned to adjust, to read rooms, to mirror energy, to become whatever version of you seemed most likely to be accepted. That doesn't make you weak. It makes your brain efficient. It just learned rules that no longer serve the person you are now. To understand this, it helps to know how your brain operates. You have a connection mode and a protection mode. When you feel safe, your body relaxes. Your thoughts flow more freely. Your personality shows up naturally. But when your brain senses even subtle social threat, it switches into protection. Your muscles tighten. Your attention moves outward. You become more aware of others than yourself. Instead of expressing, you start performing. Think of your authentic self like a radio signal. When you're calm, the signal comes through clearly. But anxiety adds static. The more static there is, the harder it becomes to hear your real frequency. Another way to see it is like a stage. Your real self waits backstage while your nervous system sends out a character to perform. That character is polite, careful, agreeable, not fake. Protective. Your brain isn't trying to deceive anyone. It's trying to keep you safe. The problem is that your nervous system doesn't know the difference between being judged and being chased. Both activate the same survival circuits. So when you sense potential rejection, your body reacts as if there's danger. Blood shifts, breathing changes, attention narrows. You become less present. And when you're not present, you can't fully be yourself. That's why you leave interactions feeling disconnected. It's not because you lied, but because you weren't inside your own experience. You don't fix this by forcing confidence or repeating positive phrases. You change it by slowly teaching your nervous system that it's safe to be real. This happens through small, specific actions that work with your brain instead of against it. First, reduce real-time performance. In conversations, allow yourself tiny pauses before responding. Even 1 second matters. That pause interrupts automatic reactions and gives your reflective brain time to come online. Instead of instantly agreeing, you might say, "Let me think for a moment." That small delay creates space for your real opinion to surface. Second, name what you feel in your body. Quietly label sensations like tight chest, warm face, shallow breath. This might sound simple, but it activates parts of your brain that regulate emotion. You stop being consumed by the feeling and start observing it. For example, in a group setting, you notice anxiety rising and silently think, "My stomach feels tight." That awareness alone can lower the intensity and bring you back into yourself. Third, practice micro-honesty. You don't need dramatic vulnerability, just small truths. Saying you're tired, admitting you don't have an answer, sharing a mild preference. Each honest moment teaches your nervous system that authenticity doesn't automatically lead to rejection. Over time, your brain updates its predictions. It learns that being real is survivable. Fourth, create one logistic space where you stop performing. One person, one journal, one daily walk. Somewhere you don't have to manage how you appear. Your nervous system needs repeated experiences of unfiltered presence. Safety isn't something you think your way into. It's something you practice. Here's the model to remember. Authenticity isn't a personality trait. It's a nervous system state. When you feel safe, you are real. When you feel threatened, you perform. So the goal isn't to be yourself. The goal is to become regulated enough that yourself naturally emerges. Like tuning an instrument, you don't force the music. You gently adjust the tension until harmony appears. Every pause you take, every sensation you name, every small, honest moment slowly retunes your system. The gap between who you are and who you show becomes smaller. Not suddenly, quietly. Gradually, you begin to feel more present in conversations, less exhausted afterward, more connected to your own thoughts and feelings. You were never fake. You were protecting something sensitive inside you. And now, you're learning that you don't have to hide it anymore. Authenticity doesn't arrive as a dramatic transformation. It returns in subtle moments. A breath before speaking. A truth said softly. A feeling allowed to exist without being pushed away. One day, you'll notice something gentle but powerful. You'll leave a conversation and feel whole. Not because everything went perfectly, but because you were there, fully. And that's the real shift. Not becoming someone new, but slowly, patiently, coming home to who you already are.